Welcome back to Investing Talk podcast. Today we're taking a close look at Asia Broadband. One of you sent in quite a bit of information about this resource company. Their main thing seems to be precious and base metals, especially over in Asian markets.
And this listener was particularly interested in understanding what's been happening with the company lately.
Yeah.
Especially their move into the cryptocurrency space. They've got this silver-backed token idea.
Right. They wanted a clearer picture of, well, what's driving the stock and the key things to keep in mind. We have a fair amount of material here. It covers recent news, market effects, the industry picture, risks, opportunities, even social sentiment.
And there's also some info digging into why the stock price has been moving up.
Plus due diligence report, financial metrics, business factors, management insights, valuation risks, and a company overview, too. So our goal today is to unpack all of this and figure out what's really going on with Asia Broadband. Let's start with the basics then. What's their core business right now?
Okay, so their primary focus is the production, supply, and sale of precious metals. Base metals, too, mainly in Asia. They're involved in accumulating physical gold, other precious metals as well.
And specific projects.
The Los Reyes project gets mentioned as a key mining venture in the material we have.
Okay. And the development that seems to have caught people's attention is this digital asset angle.
That's the one. They are developing a silver-backed crypto token called AABBS. The plan seems to be for an early 2025 launch. It looks like a pretty significant strategic shift for them.
Let's look at those recent developments a bit more. It sounds like the crypto token isn't the only thing happening.
No, that's right. The token development seems to follow a reported increase in their quarterly silver production. And that's happening alongside what the sources describe as pretty favorable conditions in the silver market overall.
Interesting timing.
It is. We also see reports mentioning increased production coming from their tequila joint venture.
And are they still looking for more resources? What about exploration?
Yes. Exploration seems ongoing. They mentioned concessions like Pocahontas V and La Paz. And interestingly, they're also apparently in talks to sell their Bonanza concession.
Selling off an asset while expanding elsewhere. And what about corporate actions, finances?
Well, they've announced a $12 million share buyback program. That usually aims to support the stock price. They've also settled some debt they had with a group called White Castle Capital.
And operations.
They hired a new qualified person geologist. That points towards a continued focus on their drilling programs, getting those resources verified.
You also mentioned something about investor engagement.
That's right. Plans for live streaming video from their plant and also guided tours for investors in Q2 2025. It feels like a move towards more transparency, maybe trying to build confidence.
Okay, so with all this activity, production increases, crypto plans, buybacks, what's the market reaction been? How's the stock performing?
Well, we've certainly seen a notable increase in the stock price. On May 9th, 2025, for instance, it jumped 12.24%. And that was part of a 6-day upward trend.
That's quite a run. Any technical signs supporting that?
Yes, the material mentions buy signals coming from both short-term and long-term moving averages. Those are technical indicators that smooth price data to spot trends.
So the trend indicators are positive.
They are. And trading volume has also increased, which often happens alongside price gains. It suggests more liquidity, more interest.
But we need the full picture, right? What about signals that might suggest caution? Analyst views.
Good point. While those moving averages are positive, there's a conflicting signal. A sell signal has apparently come from the 3-month moving average convergence divergence, or MACD.
A sell signal from the MCD, so mixed signals there.
It suggests sentiment might be divided. Some technical analysts might see it as overbought or time to take profits, while others focus on the positive trend signals.
Okay, let's zoom out a bit. How does Asia Broadband fit into the wider mining industry context?
Well, the mining sector, especially for silver, is said to be benefiting from positive market fundamentals right now. So, Asia Broadband's focus on silver production certainly seems timely, aligning with those trends.
And the overall health of the sector matters.
Definitely. The performance of the broader mining sector and trends in precious metal prices, they'll inevitably influence Asia Broadband's stock.
Now let's talk risks and opportunities. What are the potential downsides here?
Well, like any mining company, they face regulatory risks, changes in environmental rules, mining laws, that sort of thing. Geopolitical events could also cause disruption. And then there's the crypto side.
Volatility.
Yes, the cryptocurrency market is known for its volatility. That could definitely impact how successful their silverback token, ABBS, actually is.
Makes sense. And on the flip side, what are the potential upsides? The opportunities?
Growth and diversification seem key. The sources mention plans for maybe more cryptocurrency tokens beyond just the silver one. And of course, their ongoing efforts to expand mining operations could lead to more production and revenue.
So if we try to connect the dots, what are the main things pushing the stock price up recently?
It really seems like a combination of factors. All these positive developments we've discussed. The upcoming silver token, the reported increases in mining output. It's likely creating optimism among investors.
And the technicals reflect that.
Right, you see in the buy signals from the moving averages the increased trading volume, and then you add the favorable backdrop for silver plus their strategic expansion plans. It all contributes to boosting investor confidence.
Okay, let's shift gears to financial health. What did the due diligence information tell us?
Well, this is where the information gets a bit thin, unfortunately. The sources we have don't provide specific recent numbers for revenue or earnings per share.
That's pretty crucial information.
It absolutely is. So for anyone looking seriously at this, you'd really need to go find their official financial reports, their SEC filings, to get the current data.
What about other key financial metrics? PE ratio, debt levels.
Similar situation there. We don't have data in these sources for the price-to-earnings ratio, the debt-to-equity ratio, free cash flow, or return on equity. All of those are really important for a proper financial checkup, understanding valuation, leverage, profitability.
Right. Okay, moving on to their business and industry position. Do we know how they stack up competitively?
Not really, based on this information. The sources don't detail any specific competitive advantages Asia Broadband might have, and we can't really tell their market position. Are they a major player, a smaller niche company, a challenger? It's not specified.
The report mentioned broader industry trends. Anything stand out?
It did mention increased demand for broadband services, which is slightly confusing given the name Asia Broadband.
Yeah, because their focus now is mining and crypto.
Exactly. But the report does flag general industry risks like intense competition and regulatory challenges, which would apply to mining and crypto too.
And the leadership.
Yeah.
The management team.
Again, very limited information provided here. No details on the track record of the CEO or other key executives, and nothing mentioned about recent insider trading activity either.
Okay. And looking specifically at valuation and risk from that due diligence perspective.
Several standard valuation ratios are missing from our sources. Things like price to book, dividend yield, payout history, even beta, which measures volatility.
Yeah.
The report does make the point, though, that you typically find the major risk factors spelled out in their SEC filings.
Understood. Now, the company overview did highlight some specific potential issues and strengths for Asia Broadband itself. What were those?
On the concern side, delays were mentioned in getting their Etzetlan plant up and running, apparently due to some equipment delivery problems and also severe weather impacting things.
Delays can be costly. Anything else?
Their reliance on certain suppliers was flagged. A company called Henan Mekru Heady Industry was mentioned. Dependence on single suppliers can be a vulnerability.
Okay, those are potential red flags. What about the strengths?
The diversification seems key. Having both precious metals and these cryptocurrency token plans. Their expansion plans also look like a strength, adding new processing lines, building up their silver bullion reserves. That suggests growth ambitions.
How does Asia Broadband fit within the precious metals landscape? Who are their competitors?
Well, it's definitely competitive space. You've got established players like Hecla Mining Company, Pan American Silver mentioned as examples. Asia Broadband's potential edge might come from that focus on Asian markets maybe, and this innovative silver-backed crypto idea.
But no hard data on market share.
No, not in the sources we reviewed. No direct comparisons available there.
Looking ahead then, what are the key things to watch? Upcoming catalysts.
I think the big one is the operational start of that Etzetlan plant. It was expected around mid-March 2025, so seeing if that happened or when it will is important. And of course, this launch of the AABB token planned for early 2025. That's another major event to keep an eye on.
And the ongoing challenges remain.
Pretty much. Navigating potential regulatory shifts in mining or crypto, and just dealing with the inherent price swings in both precious metals and crypto markets. That's always going to be part of the picture.
So wrapping up, what's the sentiment like? Analyst views, public perception.
It's a bit mixed based on the technicals we discussed. You have those positive bias signals from moving averages, but then the negative Anki-D signal suggests analysts might not all be on the same page. The recent stock price rise does point towards positive investor feeling, generally. But you always have to be careful about relying too heavily on, say, unverified social media chatter. need to separate hype from substance.
Okay. So, boiling it all down, what does this mean for you, our listener?
Asia Broadband is, well, it's an interesting mix. You have this traditional resource company, metals, mining, stepping pretty boldly into the newer world of cryptocurrency. That's right. And the recent stock surge clearly reflects optimism about that silver token and their mining expansion. But it's crucial to remember the potential risks we talked about. Operational delays, market volatility in both metals and crypto. Those are real factors.
So the information we have gives a pretty good overview, right? It shows the potential, but also the uncertainties involved.
Definitely. And for anyone thinking of looking deeper into Asia Broadband, the strong recommendation from the sources is clear. Check their official financial reports, read the SEC filings, and do your own thorough industry analysis.
What really stands out to me is this intersection, tangible assets like silver meeting the digital realm of crypto. It kind of makes you think about the future of these asset-backed digital currencies, doesn't it? And what role they might play in investment portfolios down the line.
It certainly raises interesting questions. We hope this exploration has given you a clearer understanding of Asia Broadband based on the information you sent over. And always, always remember to conduct your own thorough research before making any investment decisions.
Absolutely. If you found this breakdown valuable, please do subscribe, like the episode, and leave us a comment. We genuinely love hearing from you and finding out what topics you'd like us to explore next.